Hi everyone, it is Tree, and today we have a very special guest. We have Eli, Rose Petal Collector. Hi Eli.
Hello.
And today Eli and I are going to talk about the first animated film of Rose Petal Place. And so Eli, why don't you introduce yourself and tell us a little bit more about how you got interested in this franchise?
For sure. Yeah. Again, my name is Eli. Um, I I'm actually a 90s kid, but I consider myself a hand-me-down 80s kid. Um, because I was definitely too young for Rose Petal, but I had an older cousin who had all of the dolls and the car and house and everything. And so I don't know, somehow I just became obsessed with her toys and dolls,
Yeah.
and I always played with them when I would go to visit. Eventually, they got handed down to me, so then I had the dolls, and I was obsessed. I don't know, I've been obsessed as far back as I can remember, basically.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, so that was my introduction to Rose Petal. At some point, my aunt, that cousin's mom, found like an ex rental VHS copy of the first special
Mm.
and gifted that to me. So I watched that a billion times. And yeah, I was just kind of always been obsessed. I never stopped liking Rose Petal. Once I grew out of playing with toys, I just kind of still liked them.
Yeah.
And then eventually I got into seriously collecting in like 2007 or so. And now we have all this. So,
Amazing. Your Instagram page is like eye candy for the collector's heart. Like it's amazing. Um,
thank
I
you.
do have a quick question before we talk about the special. Directly behind you is like it looks like the cottage, but it's not. What is that?
Oh, this?
Yeah, what is that?
It's the cottage, but it's a cookie jar.
Oh my God. Wait. So like what you keep cookies inside, like the intent was to keep cookies inside of it.
Yeah.
And
There's
it's I've never seen it. It looks amazing.
like a
My
green.
God. Wait, so what material is it like ceramic?
Yeah, I think it's ceramic. I don't
My God. I'm
know.
obsessed with that.
It's so cute, right? Um, I don't know what the deal was, but they made a lot of rose petal cookie jars.
I mean, yeah, maybe the target demo was really into cookies. I mean, I'm into cookies, um, but that's amazing. Your collection is so amazing. What would you say, like, if this is a spontaneous question, but like, if there was an emergency and you had to evacuate your house, like, and you could only grab three items from your Rose Petal Place collection, what would you grab?
Uh, Three's not enough. I need six. I would grab, if it really is three, I would go for obviously three of the unreleased prototype dolls.
Yeah,
I have all six of them
yeah.
up here. It's hard for me to
Like the
tell
three,
which one's
probably
where,
like the
but
three hardest ones to get. You would grab like the three most
oh,
valuable ones, probably.
yeah, exactly. I would grab Gladiola because she's first my favorite, but also one that she's shown up less than
Yeah,
the rest, or some of them, and she was more expensive. And then Marigold because same situation. She's the one I paid the most for.
yeah, yeah.
Um, and then I don't know. It's a toss up between the other four of them who I've got last.
You can't choose your babies. This is your Sophie's choice. That is so that's so I always think about that, and like Jay and I talk about that all the time where I was just like, if there was a fire theoretically, like do you have an exit strategy?
Yeah. No, I tell people that all the time. I'm grabbing the prototypes in a fire. Like if there's a
Yeah.
fire,
Oh my
those are the
God.
things I'm getting.
That is so funny. Okay, so let's talk about the special. So just to lay the groundwork, And we talked about this a little bit before we started recording. So we landed on the fact that the special aired sometime in May of 1984, probably.
Yeah.
Um, and it was syndicated like a lot. And there was a second special that came out the following year, but today we're just going to talk about the 22-minute special. So can you give us the basic framework of like a two, three sentence synopsis of what happens in the first TV special?
Yes, of course. I've seen it a billion times. It's also like in multiple book. There's like multiple book versions of it.
Wait, so
But
the question is, are there any differences in um what's the book? Is it Garden to Share? Or like what's the book like adaptation from the TV special? Is it like a matter of music or at some point I read all of these, but I don't remember which one is the closest to like mirroring the actual events of the TV special.
I think you're right. I think it is a Garden of Love to Share. It's this one. Yeah, a Garden
The
of
pink
Love to Share.
one. Yeah.
And then it's also, oh, even, oh yeah.
Yeah, no,
This one,
you
which
can
is,
say it.
oh, it's the same thing, a Garden of Love to Share, but it's the smaller version that also came with a tape.
Yeah.
Um,
Okay.
um,
And then
um,
do you remember any differences? Did they add any parts or anything new? From what I remember, it was very similar, but the does like I feel like they made the illustrations a little bit closer to the dolls. But I don't know. This is just based off of memory because it's
that's
been so
fair.
long since I've looked at the books.
Yeah. I haven't looked or read at the books in forever either. I think it's the same basic story. I
Yeah.
think the illustrations are somewhat similar to there. I don't know. It's a little bit of a different art style.
Yeah.
Um, and then this one, it's I'm not sure. Someone referred to it as like a greeting card book. It is made by Hallmark, I think, or Ambassador, which is like a subsidiary of Hallmark or
Yeah.
something. But it tells the story again, but even more basic.
We
And
love
it's
a basic.
sentences.
We love a basic story for
Yeah.
kids because a kid's attention spans can't follow. Okay, so what is the basic plot of this beautiful special of ours?
All right. So first off, little girl, I don't know what happens, great sadness or something. She has to move away. She's so sad because she loves her garden so much. Comes out and cries, and her teardrops fall on the flowers, and the rose is her favorite, of course. Then her teardrops crystallize and bring these flowers to life as these little beings.
Yeah.
And then it's Rose Petal's duty to protect the garden and make
Yes.
it grow forever. But then we have our evil spider, Nastina, who wants the garden to be ugly. She pretty much just wants Rose Petal dead because she wants to have an ugly garden.
Wants her
Um,
dead.
so she's just always causing problem for Rose Petal and her friends, and she kidnaps Rose Petal. She almost dies because she can't have any light in the tower.
God.
Um, Rescue mission. Her friends save her. They all cry because they're so sad, and their tears bring Rose Petal back to life. And
Love it.
I think that's
That
it.
is a beautiful synopsis. I do have some preliminary questions based on that synopsis. What is the time period? Because it looks hella Victorian. Like there is a dubious, eerie looking baby carriage
Right.
that is parked outside of this like countryside house. And I don't know. So like there's both like the animated portion of that house, and then there's like a wide garden shot of the actual girl in the garden. So I just like, but she's also dressed not in like 1980s clothing. She's like in this like white frock looking thing. And I'm just like, this looks like 1800s. But maybe that is like supposed to like portray Rose Petal's like immortality. Like maybe like she's been lit she like Rose Petal and her friends have been kicking it for years.
Yeah, I think that, well, the house is definitely Victorian, and the girl is dressed Victorian, um, for sure. But so I guess we can assume that the garden in Roseville's been around since the Victorian age. How
Definitely the
long is
Victorian
that?
age. Okay, my second question. So, um, the young girl, played by Nicole Eggert, um, she starts crying and her tears falls on a rose. That's understandable. But then her tear falls on a random car. So like
Right,
what is this car that is like it is it is a toy car, like a tin car that is like embedded in the soil of this garden.
right,
So
right.
which leads me to question, is Nicole Eggert, the young Victorian child, is she playing with said toy car? Or does she have like a younger brother that's like playing with cars?
Right. I don't know. It's someone's old toy car they just left to rot in the garden, I guess.
And it became the most beautiful convertible, rose petal
Right.
convertible. Um, okay, so we can keep going. Another question that I had is this cottage is beautiful, but the thing that always like made me so in a way mesmerized by this cottage is how they did the stairs. And one of the thing that I feel like is not lacking. Like there are like limitations to the actual toy, but I would have loved to actually have stairs. And I know that like maybe like the back of the door is supposed to be is that supposed to be like the stairs? Do you know what I'm
Yeah.
talking about?
Yeah. There's two doors, but the back door, the white door, has those
Yeah.
little steps, and I think that's the point, is they are supposed to be the stairs up to the
Yeah.
roof because Rose Petal has to go up there and sing, obviously.
She
There's
has.
the music stand up there.
But yeah, I just
It's
love
beautiful, but like,
I love
what an interesting concept.
so
Yeah,
interesting. And then
oh, go on.
it's so interesting. And I keep looking at the stairs because like it's like kind of like this like metal rail in the animated film, and it has like these round like steps, and I'm just like, is this architecturally sound? Because there are like pillars that support it. I know this is totally fictitious, but like I these are the things that went through my head, and I love that cottage so much.
Yeah,
Um, And one of the things that I love also is like throughout the special, they really like spot like three different like interiors, right? They spotlight, well, not interiors, but houses. They spotlight the cottage and they spotlight the snail hut or whatever that's called,
the
right?
shell. Yeah, yeah.
The inside of that the snail shell was amazing. Like it has like if you've noticed, there's like really cute details. Like they have like almost like painting, like ancestral paintings of like snail forefathers, and like
Right.
this whole library that like encompasses the perimeter of the house, which I thought was amazing. But the thing that's also super cute is Nestina's castle in general. I love one of my favorite things when I'm reading the books is like looking at that castle because it has like so many like dimensions to the castle. And I always like, if I were crafty enough, I would love to like recreate it. But I like that would take a lot of like hot glue and time and energy and focus and ability.
Yeah, same. I've had the same thoughts of like, oh, if I could make custom play sets, and I can't even get myself to make custom dolls, so who might have think I would ever make friggin' Nastina's castle? But
That's Venus
but I
Castle.
fantasize for sure.
I know. Okay, and then so the first kind of like moment of Nestina terror that I remember is like she pushes this bird bath, this like stone bird bath, like before we even get to like the like this is like the prequel to everything. Like she just starts. she and like Horsefly were just like pushing this stone bird bath that tumbles and nearly like decapitates Rose Petal.
Right. Like we're not even through the opening song and she's
The
already trying to
opening
murder
song,
everyone.
like this is before Victorian Child was mourning the death of her house or whatever.
Yeah.
Like this is the prelude. So we get a taste of like how villainous Nestina actually is. Um, and then we get the backstory. And I think then it goes to Carnation Hall, maybe. Like maybe like Rose Petal's like singing in Carnation Hall. And that's when is that when Nestina like tries to like flood them?
Yeah. I think that's right. I think right after the little intro or backstory of the girl in the garden, then we go to there's going to be the show at Carnation Hall. It's a big deal. Everyone's nervous, getting ready. And then, yeah, Nastina just, what is it? I don't even know what that is. Like a water pump.
Yes.
I don't know, knocks a stone loose so all the water runs out, tries to drown everyone. And it's great. Yeah.
So the I feel the thing that's so great about Nestina is that she is just so like ruthlessly villainous. Like there are some villains in the 80s that are like they have some redeeming qualities, like Murky and Lurky. Like Lurky is like actually kind of cute sometimes, and
Right.
he has like I think at the core maybe a good heart, and like Murky has like the whole backstory in that episode of Mom where he's like, oh, there's a reason why he is the way that he is. Like he has like mommy issues or something, but like. But like Nestina is at the core just like evil. Like she's like bloodthirsty.
And it's all because she just doesn't like
She hates it.
singing and pretty stuff. She just wants it to be everything to be ugly. I don't
And she's a spider. She's a legit spider. Um, so
know.
after the deluge, the flood, um, I think what happens is that we are taken back to Nestina's castle. And that this is when Nestina's like playing on the organ, and she and her accomplice Horsefly devise of a way to plan their meticulous plot to kidnap Rose Petal. I do have some questions about this scheme. Okay, the scheme is that Horsefly would go over to the snail house and basically try to find a way to get Rose Petal to meet him in the thorny woods
Right.
because and that's when he would kidnap her. Okay, so and but the thing is, like, what was the end goal? Like, why was there a whole side plot of making her lose her voice if they were just gonna throw her in a unlit tower anyway? Like, she was already kind of like struggling under the net. Like, they had already captured her. So, like, that's why Miss Dina is so evil. Like, she already had her prey.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, she already had her. So like she literally could have just dumped her into the darkness. But she's like, no, I want more. I want to take it a step further. I'm gonna clean my whole mansion.
Put
Like,
on this fancy dress, act like I'm nice. Yeah.
she's like, okay, I also wanted like she is so committed to the bit. Nastina is so committed to the bit that she like polished the floors, acquired like a brand new chandelier, and she must have gone to a dressmaker to get this beautiful gown. And she took the time to have this whole table setting for Rose Petal when she finally arrives. Because Rose Petal's like, oh my God, you have all these flowers. I thought you hated flowers. And then this is so funny. Like my favorite part, and I'm not quoting it exactly. Nestina's like, I had a dilemma. The dilemma was to either like kill all the flower, like kill all the flowers or like let them live forever. Which one do I want? And she's just like, I decided that. And then there's this pregnant pause. I want them to live forever.
Yeah, it's good.
It's
I know
so
exactly
good.
what you're talking about. It's like, should the garden live forever
Yes.
or die?
Yes.
And then
Yes.
there's
I
the
love how
dramatic
it's just like
pause.
the pause and the fact that there's only two realities. Like, there cannot be anything in between. Like there's no shades of gray for Nestina. Oh my
Yeah,
God. And we missed the best part. She has the I Love to Hate song before all of this.
iconic.
Iconic song. And like literally sometimes in my day-to-day working life, I'll just be like, I love to hate.
Yeah, listen, people
Such a
they can get
catchy,
pretty stressful sometimes. I can relate to it.
it's such a catchy bop.
It's
And the fact that she is like, there's no, okay, we were talking about the cookie jar. There's no recipe. There's no formal recipe to this fruit cocktail that makes you lose your voice. She was literally pulling things off of the pantry shelves and just throwing it into that pot, that cauldron.
right.
I think she threw Horace Fly into that cauldron at one point.
Yeah, yeah. And I don't know. She just knows what she's doing with potions. Okay, I don't
And,
know.
and and the thing is, like, they say that baking is a precise art. It's almost like a science, but not for Nestina. Nestina knows exactly what she's doing and she doesn't need measurements.
Exactly. It's like a whole egg, a carrot or something. I don't know.
It was amazing. Okay. And then when she presents this like glass drink to Rose Petal and it starts fizzing, I distinctly remember an 8-year-old tree getting sun-kiss and pouring it into a glass. And I was just like, oh my God, that looks so delicious. Um, it looked like delicious. And I was like, but I feel like poor Rose Petal like had some sense because she clearly observed like, why is mine bubbling so much?
Right. No,
And then she was just like, oh well, like
she
like
totally just shrugs and drinks it.
she drinks
Well,
this
Rosina
whole
said that the garden should live forever, so she's got to be trusted.
She's got to be trusted. And
But
okay, so after she drinks it, Nestina, this is why Nestina is so good. She's like, would you care to sing me a song? And then
right,
like, why
like
don't you
this is
sing
such a
my favorite
wonderful
song?
occasion. Would you sing my favorite song? And she's like, Rose Petal's all, I'd love to. What is your favorite? And
Like,
like,
my favorite is your favorite. I was like, okay, I feel like Marie Osmond only has one song. So like she's gonna sing the song that we all know and love. So like she like lures her over to the organ pipe. This is why she's so devious and so good. Like she's iconic. Um, she's like, let's start the song. And then Rose Petal starts croaking away. I was just like, dang. They
yeah,
really did her dirty. It's like they already kidnapped her. Like the doors are locked and bolted. There's no escape. But they really wanted to humiliate her just one final time.
exactly. Well, I think she has to make sure that she can't sing because singing is what makes the garden live.
Oh, yes.
So
Okay.
if she can sing, even if she's in the tower, maybe she can pull something off. So we gotta get rid of
Oh
her
yeah, you
voice.
gotta muffle that completely. Or like, I mean, she could have just like put a rag in her mouth, but no, she's like, your voice has to be gone. So like Rosebud gets thrown into this dark room that has like one tiny sliver of light. And she's like, sorry, I love this part. She like moves closer to the beam of light so it lands on the the teardrop. I was just like, Rose, she's like desperate. She needs to survive.
Yeah, and she's like, "What is it? Uh, I can't live without light," and then like passes out. I
Couldn't
love
do
the
it.
dramatic of it.
So
But of
dramatic.
course,
But then also
then
like,
her
girl,
little
like what
teardrop
happens when
is shining in the sunlight. So
I mean also like Rose, let's be real here. Like when you're inside your cottage at night, you're just using fluorescent light.
right, right,
You're not getting natural beams of light always. But
right.
maybe
I
she
had
has
never
like
thought
one of
about
those
that.
solar lights. I don't
Yeah,
know.
listen,
Um,
there's magic light in her cottage, I
there's
guess.
magical
I
light.
don't know. What do
And then
roses do when they go to sleep at night in real life? was gonna say roses go to sleep.
Yeah, I don't know.
No.
Um, and then so she's captured, and then all of her friends are like finally like coming to realize that she's missing. So like, quick question: did any of the five others like ancillary characters get any sort of development at all in this first special? Like I don't remember any distinctive characteristics from like Iris versus Sunny versus Daffodil. They all, if anything, PD got the most like characterization because he was like the moral center and like was like the person that was kind of like leading the charge to actually like go to Nestina's castle. Um, but yeah, I don't remember any other characterization.
Yeah, they don't get much, and it's funny that you brought up PD. So I don't know exactly what the story is, but I think PD actually predates Rose Petal Place. Like I have things that like merchandise that's PD specifically. It's not Rose Petal branded. It's just PD Centipede. Like there's stickers and a puzzle. Um,
Oh,
so I don't know if like I think they were trying to make it a bigger world and like get a bigger audience with like boys are gonna like PD. Um, but yeah, the girls don't really get much. I mean, I think the best you get is like Lily Fair's a dancer in
yeah,
the cartoon. The books you get a little bit more,
yeah,
but
definitely.
like
Um,
I think
They're
that's
so
the best
cute
book
though.
you
I
get.
love that the proportions of their flower and head are so much larger than their like little tiny bodies. It makes it so much more adorable. Um, so the plan, I'm trying to remember the whole rescue mission here. I think that the non-humanoid people, like PD, Pitter Pat,
Come on,
Tubble, like
yeah.
they go and actually try to like distract Nestina and Horace while like the girls are trying to go to the try to find Rose. Um and I think they finally so the reason why they knew they were at the castle was because the butterfly character, what's their name? I forgot. Um
She doesn't actually have a name except I think it's in this one. It mentions her as Olga the butterfly, but in the other
oh,
cartoons,
she's Russian. A Russian
butterfly.
butterfly.
But yeah, Olga officially.
Olga. Okay, I'm obsessed with Olga. So Olga sees like a little glimmer of light that shoots up from the little spout or with the little opening. It's
Right.
very Sleeping Beauty. Like in Sleeping Beauty when Flora and Merryweather are changing the dress color blue and pink. The crows or whatever, like Maleficent's crows
Little,
noticed the light that was beaming through
right from a distance they see it. Yeah.
yeah, it was very that. So
Or
along
Hocus
with those
Pocus
lines.
when they open the book or whatever and it shoots the green light out and the witches see. Yeah.
Yes.
Which actually, um, wow, since I brought it up, David Kirshner, creator of Rose Petal, is also the producer of Hocus Pocus. So maybe that's why there's a little similarity there.
I love that. Yeah, I was clicking on David Kirshner's name, and he was a very prolific because he also did an American Tale. Like
Right.
2 years after this, he did an American Tale.
Mhm.
Um, Amazing icon that he is.
Yes.
Okay, so they basically escape successfully, but then like she's like laying dead or like dead on a leaf, and it becomes very much like a the iconic like every fairy tale ends this way with like Sleeping Beauty, Beauty and the Beast. Like it, there has to
Oh,
be the kiss. This isn't
right.
a kiss, but like like the some sort of like
Right.
um
Some expression of
indication.
love that brings her back to life, right?
Absolutely. And it was like multiple tears. Like at first I thought it was just Sunny's tear that drops, but no, like
Everyone's just
it was
raining their
coming at
tears
all
on
angles.
her.
It was
She's
like,
everybody's best friend. How could they lose her? It's the
oh,
saddest moment
sure.
ever.
Yeah, so that resuscitates her and she starts singing her song. She gets her voice back. So that seems to suggest that Nastina's potion wasn't that potent.
Well, I mean, it's the power of love and friendship. You can't compete
Can't
with that.
compete with that. Um, but yeah, so like that was the entire special. We did a deep dive.
Yeah,
Probably the deepest dive that one can do for a 22. Like we talked about the special longer than the special.
but geez. Yeah,
Um,
I could go on forever. It's
but
true.
I love it. I love it so much. And I know that you had uh, brought some animation cells of maybe the original. Like I don't know. You showed me one earlier. Maybe we can see it. Yeah.
Sure, sure. I have a bunch. So I'll just this one. Well, it's a cell setup, I guess. I'm not an expert on all of the animation cell terms, but it's multiple layers. So I'll try to not get glare, but it's from the opening sequence when everyone's walking around, Rose Petal singing her song and makes this flower grow and then Tumbles smells it, you know. But
Tumbles is loving that flower.
and it's three, so it's
Oh, three
three
layers.
layers.
Amazing.
Yeah. So it's pretty cool. This is something I wanted Rose Petal animation cells to show up for forever. And
Yeah.
then finally, like one day they did, and now I have too many.
Many.
I
But like
have
who
a
else?
bunch
Who?
now, and but it was something that I was like really hoping someday they would show up, but who knows if they ever will because animation cells, it's like they create them just to create the special, and then like usually they're probably just thrown
Run
away unless
away.
an artist or whoever just hangs on to them. So
So
yeah,
question about that. So what, you know how like Rainbow Bright was like the actual animation portion was like done in Japan? Was this also done in Japan or was this done in the United States?
um, I'm not sure actually. Um,
I don't know.
in the United States, but I know that a lot of the in the 80s we companies outsourced to Japan a lot because it was cheaper, I assume, and like Gem is also animated in, and so is The Last Unicorn. I don't know if Rose Petal is. I have to
Yeah.
go pay closer attention to the credits and
Yeah,
see
I
if
didn't
they're
notice
Japanese
either.
names.
Yeah. But yeah, the reason why I thought of it was because like I was like like who retained these cells to even sell years later? Like what type of people? Maybe they're employees of like Ruby Spears or I don't know. I have no idea like the how it. But that's so cool. Do you have any other ones that you want to show us of
Sure,
interest?
sure. I thought this one I actually have the background for, so I thought this was a good one to show. Although it's pretty
Oh,
tiny, it's Nestina and Horace dislodging the rock to drown everyone, but
wow.
you've
Oh,
got
that's so like the background is so detailed in that one.
yeah, and so it's pretty cool to have, actual art that was
Wow.
used in the special, and
That's so cool.
I want to frame some of them at some point, but um
Like, how do you
my
even
research, it's
frame
actually
cells?
best not to frame them.
It doesn't, is it better to not frame them and not ruin them? I don't know. I don't know how framing cells work because I feel like it's hard to like, because there's like different sheets, right? So, like,
Right?
when you compress them onto like glass, does it, I don't know. I'm not a chemist or anything like that, but like, I wonder.
Yeah, no, I mean, I've done a bit of research into it. It's just you don't want it to be touching the glass, so you have to have like, I don't know, can't think of the term.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, you just have to, and then you float if they're with multiple layers. You want them to not touch, so you have like space between each.
Oh, that's cool. So you
But
have,
then
that's like a
also
very custom
free.
project.
Yeah, it would be. It's a big project to frame them, so it seems. But also they have to breathe, and like the paint is like gives off gases, and
Oh my God.
blah blah blah. You have to and make sure that everything's acid-free materials to
Yeah.
preserve them as best you can. So I don't know, it's a whole project. As I understand, it's better to just keep them in like our portfolio. So maybe one day I'll have some for ink, but for now they're just in a little
They're-
filing cabinet.
yeah. That is so cool. Um, maybe one more, yeah, one more cell you want to show us?
Sure, sure. I'll
Yeah,
just
I love this. I think it's so, so cool. We'll have to come back and do a follow-up with the second animated special. Because
yeah,
I feel
yeah,
like no one else will. Like literally there's so little content, like fan-generated content that I feel like an extra video it just gives people something to refer to.
right. Yeah, that's kind of why I started my Instagram.
Yeah.
Well, for years before I was trying to build a website because I felt like every fandom has websites out there that you can go reference, like Rainbow Bright, Strawberry Shortcake, and I loved looking at those like growing up in the 90s and early 2000s, right? But there was never much for Rose Petal, and that was kind
Yeah.
of my goal was like, I'm gonna be that because no one else is.
Yeah. I love
So,
that. I love
but
that.
yeah, so website never really went anywhere. It was too much work, but now I post on Instagram. Maybe
Instagram
one
is
day I'll
such an
have a
easy
website.
platform and it reaches so many people. I think that's totally
Yeah.
the right call.
But yeah, well, any just one other. Here's a model cell of orchid that I have, the close up of each
Ooh.
of the girls like this, and then like a full body shot. And these are just model cells are for animators to reference when animating, right? Make sure
Oh
they have
yeah.
the colors right, proportions, all that kind of thing. So I have a bunch of the model cells also.
I love that. I wonder whether or not, well, we were talking a little bit before we started recording about the correspondence between the film and the actual dolls. And the dolls must have been produced in a different timeline than the TV special. So I wonder whether these model cells were useful at all in guiding maybe the parameters of what the dolls should look like, or vice versa. I don't know. So like that chronology, I'm super interested in finding out more about.
Oh, well, lucky you, I'm an expert.
Yeah.
No, but generally speaking, for cartoons, if there is a doll line, it's almost always that the dolls or the toys came first, and then the point of the cartoon is to promote them. That's
Right.
like in the 80s, that was usually the point of cartoons is to get people to buy toys.
Yeah.
And so the dolls definitely came before the cartoon. And I was thinking about this when you were talking about the cottage and the steps, is I wonder if there might be like an earlier prototype version of the cottage with the steps the way that they're in the cartoon.
Yeah.
Because that happens a lot actually in cartoons where a prototype version is used to reference to make the cartoon, but then the toy company makes changes before it's actually released and then it doesn't match exact.
Yeah.
So I think like an example is Gem. There's like fashions that we know prototypes exist that match the cartoon, but changes were made after the cartoon was already being made, so they don't match exact. So I wonder there might be out there
There might
somewhere
be
with those steps
a
that
cottage out there with those round steps, the architectural steps that defy gravity. I love it.
well, Rose Petal's
That's
pretty
so
she
interesting.
doesn't need a lot of support on those.
They're dainty. They're very frail young ladies. I love that. And then on Instagram you showed me this like garage almost
Yeah.
for the convertible, and I was like, it's been seared in my memory now. I was like, I keep thinking about, oh, where does Rose Petal park her convertible?
Right. Yeah, there's a few like pieces of merchandise that show art with it's just like a big leaf attached to the house with like posts to park her car under like a little carport.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, so maybe that at some point was part of the toy design, who knows?
I feel
But
like that one I feel like you could
that
totally
would
do
be
that one.
easy. Yeah, I could pull that off pretty
I feel
easily.
like you could pull that off, and I probably will expect to see it pretty soon.
We'll see, we'll see.
We'll see. I mean, also like, where would you get a leaf that big? You would have to crack, like maybe mold it.
I don't know. I was picturing fabric.
Fabric. You know what? This is when we need Stephanie to chime in. I was like, Stephanie. our one of our toy designer people that we are obsessed with, Stephanie is like
Yes.
she's so helpful. I'm sure she would give like, oh, like this is how I
Advice.
would do it. Well, thank you so much, Eli. This was so seriously so much fun, and I had a lot of laughs. So thank you so much for joining us.
You're welcome. Thank you for inviting me. I love talking about rose petals, so I was in.
Yes, yes. We'll have to do this again.
Deal. I'm in any time.
Perfect. Okay, well, have a good night. Thanks for
Thank
joining
you.
us. Bye.
Bye.